Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Aries here with a video. So, for some of you out there watching, including my subscribers, I got out of bed feeling pretty good, minus a little later. I had shortness of breath and dizziness. I actually slept really good, actually. I got up and I had no problem. So, made some coffee, bam, computer router goes. I was like, crap. Computer router meaning the router to the internet. So, I decided to plug in the backup. Got it all programmed. Bam! It went down. Seems Frontier routers are pieces of crap. So the third one, the final backup, works. So me and Aaron discussed it. We're going to be picking up a backup router next month. We can't afford to lose the internet. Otherwise, we will be very much in trouble because of it. Tomorrow, Aaron's going to be making phone calls. He was supposed to do it today, but he's like, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm having a coffee before bed. It's got coffee and steamed milk. It's really good. Anyways, I want to talk to Aaron about books today. We finally got that out of the way. I want to talk to him about other things, and he's like, tomorrow. So it's like, okay. This morning I woke him up. He was kind of pissy with me. And he's like, why'd you have to wake me up? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I thought you want to know the routers went crap. Now I can't go back to sleep. I'm like, I'm going to write this information in this little book so you have the password. So we finally got it done. He got online, messaged me and says, oh, it works. I'm like, yeah. And then I showed him the router we need to get. And he's like, price is a little steep, but I'll take care of it since I don't pay the internet bill. I read the reviews. He read the reviews. He said, awesome router, so we should have no problem with it, you know, once it's configured. As long as there's a manual for it, me and Aaron will figure it out. So today we were waiting for Angela's package to come for Aaron. Aaron's got the box ready. He's got to put in my presents with his tomorrow. We're going to the postie. We're going to ship it off. We'll probably do that. I went by the library today, dropped off the little baggies, checked on line, requested some more books on fishing. I like to make sure I'm up to date. I asked Aaron about fly tying. He's like, yeah, that'd be great. Then we had lunch. It was the usual. He put in some hot peppers with my ramen. He's like, yeah, the ramen and the hot peppers clear my nose. Well, his nose has been clogged, so finally got it unclogged. And he's like, what's for dinner tonight? I'm like, yeah. So tonight we had, he had red beans and rice cooked up and then put it in burrito wraps and then wrapped them up and then made them into like red beans and rice burritos. He calls them wraps. So we had the wraps. Then he had the wraps, I should say. I had mashed potatoes, gravy, and Salisbury steaks. Really good. It was very cheap. Then we decided to sit around. He's sitting there. Yeah, Farmville's kind of boring. So I was like, okay. So then we talked about the Philippines, Singapore, Middle Eastern countries, and how we were talking about the Western countries, Australia, New Zealand, Asia, and Middle East, pretty much, off and on, while we decided to stop and go outside for a bit after a cigar came in, and it was time for the president's speech. Then a friend of mine, very close, again, very close, says something to me, and I said, how is watching the president's speech bad for my health? Something like that. They were like, Rita, you're funny, lol. Yeah, well, the thing is, I was watching it on the computer. I said TV when I meant computer, and I got to calibrate my computer, my TV tonight for the net, because I have a smart TV, and the new router code's going to have to go in, so I was like, So I'll put in the WEP key, get it all calibrated, then I can use YouTube on the TV. The tablets, I got to do that too. But yeah, here's the funny thing is I got all my business email in except for 2. Yeah. So anyways, tonight we're talking about the past. Aaron and I were reminiscing. You see, people in my time are good people. The newer generation are jackbooted thugs. They sit there and they're on their phone like, yeah, what's up, mother effer? Well, me and Aaron, we used to talk about how, Aaron's like, oh, I used to be a mall rat. I used to go to the mall all the time. Well, I went to the mall for clothes and video games. I went to a mall recently looking for a present, and the mall was dead. As they say, dead as a doornail. Me and Aaron's like, oh yeah, when I remember growing up in the 80s, the mall was packed. You'd go in there, families were everywhere. They'd be sitting there. Mom went to clothes shopping. The boys would go to the game stores, the bookstores, and the comic shops. And maybe you look at knives and stuff. The dad would to the hardware store. The daughters would go to the music tapes store and, movie store and stuff like that. Nowadays, you go in there and you don't see anyone in there. Heck, I was in the mall recently, and they opened, the old Sears moved in there. I haven't been to the mall in like 2+ years, so I go in there. I went there once before, but I went to the sporting goods section the previous time. But this time I actually walked through the mall. Dead, empty, wide hallways, no one in there. Me and Aaron's like, wow. But anyways, we're talking about the mall. Back in the days, you had like 4 video game stores, 4 music stores, and music stores, 1 movie store. The music store sold movies. You can get movies at Sears. You can get movies at like the Bon at the time, and all these places. There was Lamont's, there was J.C. Penney, there was Sears, and you had water fountains in the mall. You had like specialty shops, like the next door to the movie store was the art gallery, which charged like $1,000 minimum for art. Then you had Sears. You had the lawnmower section, the washing machine and dryer section, the stove section, the TV section, the clothes section. And when growing up, I had to have clothes, so, I always tried to get into the girls section. Well, as you know, it doesn't matter now, but the girls section of bras and panties instead. It was, oh, you gotta wear this and wear that. Well, later in life, when I went to the mall, my mom was like, we're gonna go here and there, and I got dresses and panties and bras. And before I went to Australia, I even went into Victoria's Secret. Kind of rude in there for being, unless I had all the excess plastic surgery and I looked like a genetic girl, like 3 friends I know that I'm close to, Anyways, Wet Seal, great people. I spent like $500 there. But anyways, that's where I got my black dress. But anyways, back then, malls were great. Victoria's Secret, Fredericks of Hollywood. Nowadays, you go in there and it's dead to the world. You can go into a Victoria's Secret and they'll help you. They'll be like, oh, you're a cross-dresser. That's great. Cross-dresser with these huge cans. Ow, I'm sorry, ma'am. You're becoming a woman. I'm so sorry, And then you got the other people that's like, oh, boobs don't make you anything more. You're ugly. Well, I'm not hiding who I am. So, anyways, back to the past. I remember going in, and the first place I hit up in the mall was the World of Nintendo, a little kiosk, a little bigger than my living room. I'd be sitting there and they had a little button you'd push and be like, new for Nintendo, Castlevania, or Contra, or Castlevania 2. And I'd be like, wow. My mom would be like, you want it? Okay. Or the times we'd go shopping at my mom's, got her tax return. We'd be walking around and we'd hit up Sears, we'd hit up clothes, we'd hit up World of Nintendo, we'd hit up Suncoast, the movie store, the music stores, the place that had video games. Fred Meyer's, there was 2 places we went to, but I just can't remember the names of them. It's been so long. Game Pros, when it took over for World of Nintendo, but all these places, Electronic Boutique, Babbage's, Software, etc., Funko Land, where there's Fred Meyer's, where, we loaded up on games. I had so many games when I came home, my ears were... the days of old are done, but I can still remember Christmas time, going to the mall, and sister going one way, mom going the other, and my mom and I would look at the toy stores and stuff. She'd drive across the street, or heck, at the time my mom could actually walk. We'd walk over to Toys R Us. We would look at the toys. We'd figure out what I wanted. She'd write it down. We'd go over to a restaurant that's called like the Green Bean. Sit down. She'd have a wine, and I'd have some food and a drink, and we'd talk, and then we'd swing by the Electronic Boutique and get the Christmas catalog. My mom would be like, oh, yeah, this would be perfect for you. And I'm like, I want it. And then Christmas morning, there are all the presents under the tree that I wanted in the EB catalog. Nowadays, you go to a mall, and it's empty. And then, Aaron, the reason to spark the mall debate thing, and I'm sorry I'm making this video a little longer than usual because I'm actually in a good mood to talk about the past, is the fact that the malls was The malls in this world, Europe's phasing them out, Australia's phasing them out, New Zealand's phasing them out, Canada is slowly phasing them out, and America is. People nowadays, they're sitting there and they're like, oh yeah, I want that new book, but I'm not going into Barnes & Noble. Oh yeah, I saved some money, free shipping, and I got it through Amazon. Done. Whereas they say in the next 10 years, the mall's going to be a store where you go in, push a catalog like right there, touchscreen, or you'll have a tablet, put in what you want, slide your card, out the door you go. That's it. Plain and simple. Whereas other places that have the family values, like some Asian companies, like the Philippines, Filipinos are really great people, very great people. They have a mall still. And the Arab countries like Dubai are putting in the biggest malls, the biggest shopping malls, I should say, the biggest airports, the biggest hotels, the biggest skyscrapers, bigger buildings. All that for what? To show that they are becoming a new power, and it is really great seeing the Arabs. Even Dubai has Christians, and you got the Muslims, and you got the Hindus and stuff. They all go there. They're all open-minded people, and people go to these malls because A, they're the biggest in the world, and B, they still have the family values of, oh, it's a treat, we're going to the mall, yay! When I grew up, going to the mall was kind of a chore. I wanted game stores, music stores, movie stores, bookstores. I didn't care about clothes stores. But in the end, I had to go with the clothes stores. Back in the old days, Penny's and Sears, they always gave you a catalog. Thick one, like thicker than clearly it was like this thick, and it was just a freaking like 4 phone books stacked together thickness for Sears and Penny's, and then they started slowly cutting down catalogs. So nowadays you get a catalog like this for a cheese company. This is Figgy's Gallery. I got an order place, I got it, and I want to talk about something else. Back in the old days, Aaron used to say people would go to the mall because they didn't want to go to other stores. The mall had the specialty parts. You go there and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, need a comforter set for my bed. Nowadays you're like, comforter set? When I was buying comforter set one time, I was buying a comforter set at Fred Meyer's. Fred Meyer's had everything. You had your electronics section, you had your movies, your music, your games, your books, your magazine, your food, your hardware. Everything came down like a Walmart. Walmart took over and took away a lot of business for the malls. Walmart sold everything under the sun for the mall, and they had decent clothes and decent wares, etc. You got your Walmart place just like Sears for your tires. And Sears used to do tires. Sears used to do a lot more. The Sears I used to go to had a tire section and more. You need tires, you can either go to Les Schwab, Big O Tire, or Sears. Nowadays, you want tires, you go to Walmart or etc. Things are taking over where Walmart is becoming more of the norm for the parents today that have a fast business. A fast business to the point where they want everything under the sun, and if they can't get it, they'll just go on to Amazon and be like, bloop, 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 or Google or Yahoo Shop and get it done. Package it up, sent off your way. Then they track the package and be like, oh, well, I don't really need that for 2 days. I mean, when I shop at Walmart, I shop for printer cartridges, printer paper, printers. I got my TV there. I went online recently. Aaron says, oh, my computer's going down. Well, I priced out computers and stuff. I got his Christmas all lined up. Anyways, everything I needed, I went between Walmart and Walmart Layaway and Amazon. And that's it. Amazon, I just go on there. It's like, once in a while I'll go to specialty shops like fly rod shops, etc. Heck, I email local fly shop asking questions. He's like, oh, no problem. Problem is nowadays everyone is in a fast lifestyle where things are happening. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine tonight about making a decision possibly for experiments. Now, Right now, I pay $5 American per package of brats. I bought 9 packages. That was $45 in brats. Well, guess what? I had one package in the freezer. That was 10 meals. However, that's actually 20 meals because I'm eating 3 brats, mashed potatoes, some gravy, 2 brats to the next day for lunch with a little teeny side of mac and cheese. I'm good. There you go. 2 meals right there. Breakfast, no problem. Then, well, I was guaranteed $40 for lunch, but our dinner. But Aaron's like, oh yeah, but that was for the $2.50 sausages. Yeah, but he didn't take into account of a few things. So when I went shopping this month, I spent $170 or so on groceries and about $110 in booze, alcohol, and $20 in razor blades. All total, that's a lot of groceries. So I told Aaron I want to cut it out and try to limit my shopping at Walmart to what I need. Well, when I go to Walmart, I'm like, oh yeah, I need socks. I grab socks every month, underwear every month. Lately, I went into, like I said, back to the mall. Went into Hot Topic, Spencer's, t-shirts, $25. So I said, Aaron, we're going to have to get some white t-shirts for me. I'll be content with like 6-pack, 7-pack. Oh, well, you're a real lady. You need to wear colors. So, like this. I got to get a bed comforter because winter's setting in. And when it gets colder, it's going to be cold. And so, the bottom line is I have to prepare. So that's one of my shopping things. I like my books. The library's providing a lot of entertainment for me. That's great. And then I put it in my wish list and then I buy it. So talking about books tonight, back to the mall again before I go to books, is nowadays the only family values is out of country. The United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, they still have malls. They go there. Our fast generation of most of Asia, Europe, and America is order your stuff through your phone, your computer, your tablet, skip out on movie theaters, eat fast food, and move. Now, the thing is my close friend, very close, told me I shouldn't even worry about the stress level for food. I could just order Schwann's, have it delivered by truck for $2 for, I think it's $1.75 to $2 per order, have my food delivered. They'll even put it in my freezer for me, and that's it. Make a good customer, and then, like tonight, I was talking to Aaron about water, and back to the mall first. Anyways, the bottom line is, family values gone down the toilet. That's why, you see all these girls, look for example, cosplayers. A lot of cosplayers that go out and they cosplay Sailor Moon, or these game people, and the girls, and they go in and they get huge breast implants. They want to be a model and all this. And then people worship them. Oh, you're an idol, you're a goddess. Good Lord said, worship the God themselves. Guess what? Then you have them same people that are in a fast thingy. They want to order things. They'll play certain video games. They'll rush out the door fast. And they'll eat out fast. Aaron's dad eats out every night. And then I look around and, back in the day, the elderly went to the mall to get a bargain. You'd hit up every store to find the best deal. You'd buy it, you'd go home. Nowadays, the elderly don't have much money. So they don't give a damn about the malls. They'll go to Walmart, get everything done, out the door. Walmart's getting to be proper. But between Walmart and these super mega store, grocery stores that have everything closed, TVs, the mall's slowly phasing away to going to be extinct. And besides that, with probably over 250,000 online retailers in the U.S., supposedly, yeah, that's slowly phasing them out too. A lot of places, they just want to do tax deductions or tax rebates or tax-free, so, there's more options out there online. Back in the day, in the 1800s, you got to town once a month, you had your supplies. And you had a catalog, and you can say, oh yes, I want to buy this. Next month you got in, it might be there. It might have been shipped, say, from Vermont to Texas. Maybe not. But you just wait. Sometimes shipping was 6 to 8 weeks to your home. Mailman would get there eventually, like, oh yeah, here you go, Vivian, you got this. But I'm just choosing a name random. So you get the idea. Technology is advancing so fast in this country that other countries are just getting to where we are in the 70s and 80s with all these shopping malls, like Dubai's building the next biggest world's mall and airport. Whereas we are suffering. Our country is suffering. Too many people living in the fast lane, not enough family value. Now about the water. The water is simple. Me and Aaron were talking about it. The douchebag guy that was running Nestle, the Nestle Corporation, Nestle has 8,000 brands. They decided they wanted to say that water should not be free, and that Nestle and other food companies should control the water source and make us pay for it. And that means no fishing, no hunting, no this, no that. Limit the water in your home. That means you can use the toilet twice, flush. If you have to piss in your toilet crap and fill it up before flushing, fine. It's because, well, we have to conserve water because there's a water shortage. We could take desalinization plants all over the eastern and western seaboards, plump in the water fresh into our pipes. Guess what? There's not a water shortage unless the sea goes all the way down, and then we're killing the fish. People like this are douchebags. They're not going to control the water. So, yeah. Now, like I said, today was a good experience talking to Aaron about the malls, the water, listening to the president speak. Talked about books. I asked him about what to do about fly tying books. He's like, oh, I'll talk to you about that tomorrow. I got better ideas. Well, we're supposed to play a video game tomorrow, but the problem is he's got phone calls afterwards. He's got to babysit the neighbor's dog downstairs, so he doesn't know how that's going to work. So I said, Aaron, I'll be up early. I'll have my shower, and I'll be probably dressed, ready to go. And he goes, yeah. And then I said, we'll have lunch early, you know. Oh, another thing that happened to Aaron today, by the way, is Aaron goes from the park over to his hot place. Mail lady was just pulling in, and he gets the mail. A couple catalogs for me, cigar catalog. Woohoo! I hit pay dirt again. Two things caught my eye in the cigar catalog. When I showed Aaron, he's like, See, cigars are like adult candy. He's like, oh yeah, I gotta do that. I said, amen, brother, pass the mustard. That's, our joke. So finally, but anyways, I looked at it later. But anyways, he comes back to the park and he says, my package said it was out for delivery. I'm gonna go walk up to the post office. So he goes up there, does his thing, smoking a cigar. Finally comes back to the park. He's like, I got the package. Angela's present was there. Problem is, it was supposed to be loaded on the truck. It said it was sorted and loaded on the truck this morning, but it was in the back. The lady said, oh, it came in this afternoon and it was going out. The lady lied to save her own bacon. Bacon meaning backside, saving your own rump, saving your own butt. Alright, so we walked home. Aaron fires up the meal. We have dinner. We go out again to have a cigar because he got some cigars in today. Final blends. Utterly crap. Wrapper cracked and tore, and Aaron's like, oh yeah, it's a great smoke, but I said it ain't worth the money. I was smoking 6-inch by 60 ring gauge, and I'm telling you, when I got done, we decided to go home, grab the dogs, and walk them, and then here I am. Anyways, so yeah, so tomorrow we're expecting more packages, and then Friday he's got another cigar order coming in. He's like, hey, Reed, I got you some cigars coming in. See, he buys the Buzzard Banquet for me. The other thing is he got cranky with me on a project I asked him to do. So I finally said I'll configure it tomorrow morning on my desktop to calibrate the spreadsheets into Open Office and just get it done. So I'll copy the files, I'll put them in a folder called Aaron's Work. Then I'll put it over into Open Office calibration for those ones. Then I'll send them off to him and they'll be done. Then he can open them. And he's like, yeah, well, I want Windows to open. Well, then I'll open Office. I have Open Office on my desktop. We did talk about a new desktop computer. I'm going to have to get one. So he's like, oh yeah. So, and then we talked about a couple games. So, all in all, everything was great today. Oh, my Figgies order, by the way. because I made a mistake and you guys heard about it last night, I placed an order. Figgy's computers were down. I did this at Christmas time last year. Reordered it and then reordered it a third time. Well, guess what? My cheese orders are all pending. Now you're going to send me a thing saying my credit's no good, so I can't get Figgies. But my credit's got to be good because I just got a credit increase, another credit card coming in the mail, supposedly, and a Finger Hut increase on my credit to way amount. So they want me to do Christmas, and I'm like, maybe something for Angela and Aaron. But anyways, you get the ideas. So with all that crap stacked up, and the fact the library ordered me some new books, and they're shipping me some books from their mail order department, I'm feeling pretty damn happy and pretty damn lucky. Except for the fact that I'm dizzy. The doctor said my drinking binge caused me to have indigestion. Aaron told me today, I think it might be heart reading. He might be right, because you didn't even complain once. Because when I eat pizza or spaghetti and I have a tomato base, it gives me so much problems with my ulcers. I didn't have any problems. When I have hot peppers, like jalapenos, habaneros, bucholaquillas, bird's eye peppers, or serranos in my top ramen or my ramen noodles, it didn't give me any trouble. I just sat there like, oh yeah. Aaron's like, a little too hot today. That's because he's got dental problems. So, anyways, with that said, everyone, sorry it made too long. Hopefully you all have a great night. I want to finish my coffee, use the bathroom, relax, upload this. So, there you have it. That's my story about malls. And that's my story about water, and that's my story about today and online and the cheese and everything that went on in my life. And I'm sorry I rambled about the malls, but it had to be said. The Philippines, the Arab nations, they have it right when it comes to family values and family units sticking together and going out to the malls, because they're still in between the 60s and the 80s, whereas in the 90s to now in America, the malls just failed. No one wanted to go there. People were being kicked out. Everything happened for a reason. So malls are phasing out for the internet. And then we got an email from the the Google saying the FCC wants to control the internet, basically giving the businesses the faster internet connection, and we're only stuck doing certain things like ordering when we need to or checking email. They even want to try to censor Facebook, so who knows how that's going to play out. We'll talk about that in tomorrow's video. So yeah, please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments, leave feedback, suggestions. Thank you, and may God bless the world.